So Alec Baldwin is being sued by 3 girls, but we need to talk about the events that led up to this lawsuit because some might say there was an interesting turn of events or an interesting change of heart that led to this. So this basically all started in 2021 when the US troops were exiting Afghanistan. During that exit, there were 13 US Marines that were killed, but one of those Marines was Riley McCollum. And Alec Baldwin reached out to Riley McCollum's sister saying he wanted to write a check for $5,000 to give to Riley's widow, who had just given birth 18 days after Riley passed away to her and Riley's newborn child. And the sister accepted the offer. Alec sent the check. The check made it to Riley's widow, and all was good. Well, then in January of this year, so January 2022, Riley's sister, Royce, which is who Alec Baldwin initially reached out to, posted a picture of her at the January 6th protest. And she wasn't at the Capitol. She was at the Washington Monument. So there were different protests going on that day. And basically, Alec Baldwin sees this picture of her at the protest and comments on it and says, "Are you the same woman I sent the money for your sister's husband who was killed during the Afghanistan exit?" Then, after he comments on the picture, he DMs Royce, this is according to the lawsuit, and he says, "When I sent the money for your late brother, out of real respect to this country, I didn't know you were a January 6th rioter." Royce then responds to his message and says, "Protesting is perfectly legal in the country, and I've already had my sit down with the FBI. Thanks, have a nice day." To which Baldwin writes back and says, "I don't think so. Your activities resulted in the unlawful destruction of government property, the death of a law enforcement officer, and assault on the certification of the presidential election. I reposted your photo. Good luck." So Baldwin shares Royce's photo of her at the protest to his Instagram and mentions her involvement in the January 6th protest, calling her an insurrectionist. Obviously, what followed was those of Baldwin's followers that aren't happy with the situation message Royce, as well as her and Riley's other sister, Cheyenne, and Riley's widow, accusing them of being white supremacists, comparing them to Nazis, and some of them even went as far as to say that Riley deserved to die in Afghanistan. I mean, people are crazy with the things that they will say. So they started harassing Royce and Riley's widow and Riley's other sister, Cheyenne. And these 3 girls, because of all of the hate they were receiving, filed suit against Alec in Wyoming, alleging invasion of privacy, defamation, negligence, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Well, the court in Wyoming didn't have jurisdiction over Alec because Alec lives in New York. So the judge dismissed the lawsuit, and then the girls refiled in New York and are now seeking at least $25 million in damages. Now, what the girls are saying is that Alec Baldwin's actions were negligent and reckless, and he should have known that making the allegations that he did against the girls to his millions of followers would cause the girls harm. Now, here's the thing. Should he have known? Could he have known? The answer is yes. Alec Baldwin himself has been the target of hate, right? Obviously, there was all of that drama when he accidentally shot a coworker on his film set, and he received tons of hate messages. He knows what social media is capable of. He knows what the people on social media are capable of. So he knew that by kind of inciting, I don't want to accuse him of inciting, but he knew that by posting that photo and saying what he said about Royce's involvement in the January 6th protests could have led some of his followers to hating on her. Could he have predicted some of the things that they would say to her? Who knows? But he could have foreseen his followers going after her and her family, just purely based off of the hate he had gotten in the past. Now, when you add on top of that, when he shared the photo to his Instagram, he messaged her and said, "I reposted your photo, good luck." Now, that good luck, one could argue, is saying good luck with all of the hate you get from this. Good luck with everything that follows from me sharing this photo. So there is a good argument that he knew what would come from that. So we will see what happens with this lawsuit, but it was just recently filed in New York, so there's a long way to go. We'll see. I mean, Alec may try to settle this outside of court. We're unsure if the girls would go for a settlement. They may want to take it all the way to a jury trial. We will see, but that is the lawsuit as it stands right now.